I always felt like I wasn't really one of them. I was the odd one out. That extra piece that just didn't fit into my best friend's perfect family picture. But man, I tried so hard. I'd been with them for years, basically growing up with my best friend, Ava. Her family had money, connections, and influence. What they lacked was ambition. That's where I stepped in. I was the one who studied my butt off. The person who came up with all the plans, the one who fixed their issues before they even realized there was a problem. When Ava decided to launch her business, I was the one who wrote up the whole plan. When her dad's company was in trouble, I was the one who came up with the restructuring idea that saved them. And when Ava's brother needed work, I was the one who pulled strings to get him hired. But none of it made a difference. Because one evening, as I was sitting at their dinner table, after years of being loyal, after doing everything for them, I heard the words that changed it all. "We don't want you around anymore." Ava's tone was harsh, definite. Her mom agreed. "You're constantly getting in the way." Her dad didn't even glance my way. I just sat there, frozen, trying to make sense of what was going down. I thought Ava might at least pause or soften up, maybe show some regret. But no, she just scoffed. "We're not like your family." That stung way more than I thought it would. After all I'd done, after everything I gave up for them, I didn't put up a fight. I didn't even argue. I didn't bother begging. I just got up, grabbed my coat and walked out the door. I didn't slam it. I didn't even turn back. I just walked away from their house, away from their lives, away from the world I'd made for them. The chilly night air hit me as I stepped onto the street. It should have hurt, but instead it felt freeing. Like I'd finally dropped a heavy weight I didn't know I was carrying. No more solving their problems. No more begging for their approval. No more faking like I belonged. They thought they didn't need me. Whatever. Let's see how they managed without me at tea first. There was absolutely nothing. No calls, no texts, not even an apology. Can't say I was shocked. They were cocky enough to think they'd do just fine. They probably figured I'd come begging, dying to show my value, which I didn't. Instead, I put myself first. Felt weird in the beginning. So much of my life was wrapped up with them. I spent years making sure Ava's business ideas actually made money, stopping her from making crazy mistakes. I helped her dad rebuild his company when it was about to go under. I even hooked up her brother with his first real job. But now I finally had time for my own plans. The ones I'd pushed aside because they were always needing something from me. Meanwhile, things were changing in their perfect little world. Ava might have been the face of the business, but she was never the smart one behind it. That was always me. Without me handling the numbers, logistics, and strategy, things started going downhill. First, they didn't even notice. Profits dropped a bit, nothing too crazy, nothing to worry about. Then the mistakes began adding up. Deals started falling apart. Investors grew uneasy. Ava was never great at handling crises, and now, without me fixing her mistakes, she was totally overwhelmed. Her dad's company wasn't faring any better. He'd always depended on my advice more than he'd admit. When I was there, I'd quietly kept him from making bad calls and nudged him toward good opportunities. Now he was just throwing money at problems he didn't get. IT was slow, creeping like a tiny crack in a window, growing bigger every day as I watched from afar, keeping quiet. They'd made it clear they didn't want my help. Oh, I let them crash, and then, after weeks of nothing, the first missed call popped up on my phone. I brushed it off. Then came another. And another. IT wasn't only Ava. It was her dad, her mom, even her brother. They weren't okay. Not even close. And now they needed me back. I'd already started building my own thing. Something way bigger than they could ever picture. And when they finally reached out again, totally desperate, I was gonna laugh. The missed calls kept coming at first. I blew them off, let them pile up, unanswered, just like they'd left me that night. But as days went by, the panic got real obvious. The calls turned into voicemails, then texts. "Hey, we should talk." Ava's first text was laid back, kinda awkward, like she was trying to play it cool, like nothing went down. I left her on read. Then her mom showed up. "I know some stuff went down that night, but we're still family. Let's sit down and figure this out." That one nearly made me chuckle. Family. Now they want to pull that card. Her dad's text said it all. "I could use your advice. Hit me up when you're free." Oh, so that's how it was. They didn't miss me at all. They just missed what I brought to the table. I kept scrolling through those messages, taking my sweet time. No need to hurry here. I could already tell what was going down. Ava's business was going under. Her dad's company was barely hanging on. They'd kicked me to the curb, thinking they could do without me. And now they're panicking because they can't figure out how to patch things up. Bet it killed them to finally text me. I kept them waiting a bit longer. As they were falling, I was climbing up. With all the time and energy I'd wasted on them, I built something for myself instead. The ideas I'd set aside, the chances they'd been given instead of me taking them. I took it all back. I started small, took it slow, building connections, making things happen. But unlike them, I actually knew what I was doing. And now I'm right on the edge of something big. That was the night Ava finally hit her breaking point. After weeks of missed calls, my phone buzzed with a new text. I read Ava's message slowly, feeling the words settle heavy in my chest. Please, we really need you. Not just I need you. Hey. Her whole family must have been freaking out. Smart move not answering right away. Not now anyway. I decided to take a walk instead, letting the chilly night air clear my head. Just a few months back, I would have jumped in to fix everything to save them from their own mistakes. That's who I was before, the one who cleaned up their messes, the person they'd toss aside when they didn't need me. Not anymore. By the time I got home, there was another voicemail waiting. I hit play. At first, nothing but silence, then a shaky breath. Hey, it's Ava. Her voice sounded quieter than normal. I know you're probably upset. Can't say I blame you. But things haven't been easy. Long pause. I screwed up. We all did. She paused like she was waiting for me to step in. But obviously, I wasn't around to save her this time. The business is tanking, she finally confessed, her voice breaking. I thought I could manage it, but it's all falling apart. The investors are backing out. We're bleeding cash every day, and she took a shaky breath. Dad's company isn't doing any better. He tried to sort things out, but I guess he never realized how much of it was you. There you have it. The honest truth. They totally underestimated me. They figured I was replaceable. And now they're drowning without me. Listen, she went on. Her voice shaky with desperation. I know we messed up. I know we said stuff we shouldn't have. But can we just hit reset? Let's fix this. Together. Really. Like I was supposed to forget how they ditched me. I listened to the voicemail all the way through, then erased it. Next morning, some random number called me. Even though I knew I shouldn't, I picked up. It was Ava's dad. His voice sounded calm, but I could hear something underneath. Stress, maybe anger. We need to talk. Just laugh. Now he wants to talk. Say casually. Thought you didn't need me. There's a pause. A real long one. I can almost see his jaw tightening. His pride fighting with his desperation. I was wrong, he admits. His voice sounds tight. We were all like that. I let the quiet hang there. Long enough for him to notice it. Long enough for him to get that he wasn't calling the shots here. Then I chuckled. Soft, knowing laugh. You messed up. I said it again slowly, like I was testing how the words sounded. No surprise there. So what exactly did you screw up? He paused. Just for a split second. That brief moment when he figured this wouldn't be as simple as he'd imagined. About how much we needed you, he finally muttered. About, he sighed. Like the words were actually hurting him to say. About what you did for us. I slumped back in my seat, eyes fixed on the ceiling. Kind of funny, really. 'Cause last I checked, you guys made sure I knew I was always in the way. He didn't answer. What was there to say? We both knew the truth. Tell me, I pressed. My voice got sharper. What actually changed? What made you finally see my worth? He let out a long breath. We've got problems. Smirk. There it was. No fake apologies. No real guilt. Just a mess they couldn't handle alone. And now you want me to bail you out, said. My voice freezing cold. After ditching me like trash. It's not like that, he started, but I shut him down. You got that right. Another awkward pause. Even longer now. He was waiting for me to break first. To come up with fixes. To jump in like I usually would. Except I didn't. Look, I know you're mad, he said, switching gears. But business is business. Don't pretend you don't care about everything we've built together. I let out another laugh, harsher now. We built this. Don't disrespect me. I was the one who built it. You guys just took all the credit. His breath got tighter. If you still give a damn, we want you back. Want me back? I shot back, faking a pause. Well, here's the deal. I'm done needing you. The quiet on their end tasted so sweet. You know what, I said after a second. I'm feeling generous today, so here's my deal. I could sense his relief. He actually thought I'd bail him out. That made me grin. Here's the thing, I said, my voice oozing fake sweetness. Sort it out yourselves, I'm done. And right before hanging up I tossed in, good luck with that. Didn't even wait for a reply. Just hung up. And that's when the begging really began. The messages came flooding in. Ava, her mom, her dad, even her brother, who'd never said 2 words to me before. Now they were all scrambling, grabbing at any chance to drag me back. Just meet with us, please. We can figure something out. We're ready to make a deal. So pathetic. They'd pushed me away, sure I was useless. Until they realized I'd been holding everything together all along. Now they had to watch everything fall apart. I couldn't do anything to help, so I let them keep begging. I stopped answering their calls. Didn't even open their texts. Then after 3 days, another email popped up. Not from Ava. Not from her folks either. It came from their top competitor. That's when I cracked a smile while reading. Seems like news about their little crisis had leaked. Investors were pulling out fast. The clients were walking away. Everyone was talking. And this company, the one they'd always underestimated, spotted a chance. A big chance that included me. I didn't think twice. I set up the meeting. And when I stepped into that office, they didn't see some nobody. They didn't see an obstacle. They saw someone ready to take it all. 2 weeks later the news hit. Their rival had snatched all their major deals. They kept their old investors. Came in like vultures and tore apart what remained of their empire. And at the front of it all me. Ava called again that night. I ignored the first ring. Then another. And another. She wasn't backing down this time, which made me smirk. Finally answered. Yeah. Her voice was trembling with anger. You did this. Did what? Yes. Playing totally innocent. You knew they'd come for us. Snap. You let it happen. I leaned back, enjoying the moment. Well, I was the one who made it happen. Her breath caught. She didn't want to believe it. You teamed up with them. Nah, I ran the show. Fixed it. Turns out I wasn't in the way at all. I was the path forward. But you were too dumb to get it. He stayed quiet. Perfect. Let that sink in. We're done for. She muttered. You wrecked us. I laughed. Ava, you did this to yourselves. I just made sure you'd feel it. I could practically hear the tears in her voice. Why? That was the hilarious part. She still didn't get it. I just hung up the phone. And that should have been the end of it. But people like them. Folks who kept taking until there was nothing left. Never knew when to quit. The knocking began the next morning, right at breakfast time. I brushed it off. Let them burn their energy knocking on my door. But when the taps turned into pounding, when the voices outside got frantic, I finally got up, stretched and wandered over. I didn't even bother checking who it was. Just swung the door wide open. There they all were, Ava, her parents, even her brother, the guy who always acted like I was invisible. They stood there, looking nothing like their usual selves. Those cocky, confident folks who'd once told me I was in the way. Now Ava's hair was all over the place, her eyes swollen like she'd been crying for days. Her mom, who used to look down her nose at me, was clinging to her husband's arm like she might fall over. And her dad, the one who'd glared at me like I was trash when he called me worthless, now stood there looking shrunken and broken. It was kinda hilarious. I slumped lazily against the doorframe, faking surprise. Wow, I said, stretching out the word. Didn't think I'd see you here. Ava was the first to step forward. We gotta talk. I raised an eyebrow. About what? You made it super clear I was just deadweight, remember? Her dad let out a sigh, rubbing his face. We messed up, he mumbled. We never should have pushed you away. Smirk. Yeah, you mentioned that already. I acted like I was thinking. Didn't mean much the first time either. Ava's mom, who'd hardly even looked at me before, suddenly spoke up. Please, she said, and I could see how much it killed her to say that to me. You gotta help us. Do I now? I tilted my head, loving how they fidgeted under my stare. We're losing it all, Ava blurted out. The company's falling apart, the investors won't even pick up our calls, and you. Her voice broke as she swallowed hard. You're the only one who can handle this. I let that hang in the air between us, soaking in the panic in her tone, the crazy irony of it all. Then I grinned. You're not wrong. Their faces brightened with hope as I leaned in closer, dropping my voice to a whisper. Let them believe rescue was coming. Then I crushed it. But I'm not gonna. Eva blinked. Wait, what? I straightened up and crossed my arms. I could handle this. I could make some calls, pull some strings. Heck, if I really tried, I could get your company running again by tomorrow. Their hope came back, shaky like a candle flame. But I'm not gonna do it. Ava's mom gasped like I'd hit her. Her dad tightened his jaw. Ava took an unsteady step forward. Please, we're begging you here. I let out a quick, harsh laugh. That's what sets us apart, Ava. I begged you too, remember? Pleading for you to see my value. Begging you to act like I mattered. And how did you respond? She winced. You just laughed. You turned your back on me. You tossed me aside. Ava's mom tried again. We messed up. Yeah, I said bluntly. You did. Her dad, the guy who never even treated me as an equal, took a deep breath. If you won't help us out of the goodness of your heart, then, he paused, squeezing out the words. Name your price. I cocked my head. Here's my price. He gave a stiff nod. Anything, whatever it costs. I stared at them, soaking it all in. They're nothing now. Just shadows of the folks who used to stand tall, who thought they were invincible. I could wipe them out completely. Watch them crash all the way down till there's nothing left. I cracked a smile. All right then. You want to know my price? They all nodded fast. Their eyes lit up with hope. I moved closer, lowering my voice so they had to lean in. Get on your knees. Dead silence. Ava's dad froze. Her mom's mouth dropped a little. Ava looked like she'd been hit. You really want my help? Then beg for it, I went on. Just like I begged you. Like I pleaded when you kicked me out and called me worthless. Ava tightened her fists. You can't mean that. I grinned, tilting my head. Then I guess we're done talking. I moved to shut the door. Ava's dad fell to his knees. I froze, blinking in total surprise. Then Ava joined in. Then her mom. Then her brother. All of them kneeling at my doorstep right in front of me. Please, Ava's dad forced out, his pride breaking right before me. We need you. I let the silence hang. Let them stew in their shame. Then, with a slow, mean grin, I slammed the door on them. Let them sit with their own failure. Let them really feel what it's like to be powerless. Everything was quiet now. The phone finally stopped buzzing with desperate calls. The doorbell quit ringing with their pathetic begging. No more noise, no more pressure. Just the peaceful stillness of a world that finally balanced itself. I did what I needed to do. Not from spite. Not from malice. But I knew they'd never learn if I didn't show them. Ava and her whole family thought they could push me around. They'd gotten it in their heads that I was the weak link. The one who didn't count. But honestly, I was the only one seeing the whole situation clearly. I understood what it really takes to build something that lasts. When they threw me away, they ruined themselves. And I didn't feel sorry for them. Not one bit. They became my lesson. One I'll remember for the rest of my days. Real success, true success wasn't just about getting by. It meant having the courage to walk away when folks didn't recognize your value. And watching them fall apart under their own stupidity. I built something all by myself. Without any of them. I took their rejection and used it as motivation. I built my own empire. A legit empire. One they couldn't destroy, one they can't even reach now. And now I'm laughing. They came crawling back to me, begging me to fix what they'd recklessly ruined. But what they never got, what they'd never figure out, was that they always had everything they needed to win. They just overlooked me. They never really saw who I was. I wasn't their rescuer. I wasn't their safety net. I'd always been the answer. And they'd never get another chance at that, so I let them plead. I let them grovel. I let them suffer. In the end, the only one who really had to believe in me was myself. And I finally got there.